Let's turn our focus now on the other big story that we've been tracking, of course, since early this morning, and that is phase 3 of elections. Voting closes in 93 constituencies across 10 states and a union territory in the third phase of polling today. Now, today's election brings to an end polling on more than half of the parliamentary seats. 5 states complete their polling: Assam, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Karnataka and Gujarat. And there's also elections polling which was held on BJP strongholds, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and also several seats in Uttar Pradesh. Maharashtra, where 11 of the 48 seats voted today, has proven harder to read. But that has also reached the halfway mark, as 24 seats of Maharashtra have completed polling today, which is half of the 48 seats that the state has to offer in total. Let me also take our viewers through some of the voter turnout data that we have so far. As I said, it's a little over 50% till 3 o'clock this afternoon. In Gujarat, it's around 47%. In Maharashtra, it's 42%. In Madhya Pradesh, it's 54% till now. Assam, 63%. Karnataka, a little over 54%. Uttar Pradesh, a little over 46%, and in Bengal, it's around 63%. So, voter turnout, of course, as I mentioned, has always been one of the big concerns. But for the moment, first, let me go across to my colleagues who are joining me. Pratibha for the elections which were held in Karnataka. Ratnadeep there joining me from Assam. Northeast also, most of the seats in Northeast, all the seats in Northeast rather, have also completed voting today. And also Saurabh, who's joining me from Bengal. Several key seats in Bengal also complete voting. Let me go across to Pratibha first. Pratibha, we were just talking about the Karnataka sex crimes case and how there's a bit of a shadow which has been which has fallen on this particular phase of elections in Karnataka. But in terms of what's happened on the ground today and what you're picking up in terms of how the voting went in several parts of Karnataka, what does the mood on the ground say?
In fact, the major face-off has been between the BJP as well as the Congress as far as these 14 constituencies are concerned. And these 14 constituencies fall in the northern Karnataka region and the central Karnataka region. And while talking about the poll plank in the previous phase of the election that was held in Karnataka, well, it was mostly revolving around the Modi guarantees versus Congress guarantees. This time, of course, the major controversy that has erupted, making it a poll plank by the Congress, where they launched an all-out attack against the BJP as well as the JDS. The BJP, of course, had distanced itself from the scandal, senior JDS leaders also pointing to the same. So when you talk of the entire contest between the BJP as well as the Congress there, most of them suggesting that this would definitely not really play a role. But then, well, June 4th will have the answer to that, because this has been one of the subjects that has been dominating every headline, that has been dominating every conversation on the streets of Karnataka as well. While talking about the investigation on one side where the SIT is doing its job, of course, this has definitely become a political flashpoint of sorts. And talking about the voter turnout as well, talking of northern Karnataka region, the voter turnout is definitely much better when compared to the average voter turnout that you see in the urban areas there. So this definitely suggests that people have been coming out to cast their vote, mainly to participate in this entire festival of democracy. And the BJP trying to see if they could repeat what they did in 2019, where they bagged 25 of the 28 seats there, and the Congress in the meantime trying to repeat what they did in the assembly election with respect to the Lok Sabha election. Well, definitely a make or break election for both the parties there. Of course, with respect to the JDS there, we'll have to wait and see how this particular controversy would affect the alliance partnership between the BJP as well as the JDS.
Right. Pratibha, stay with us. From Karnataka, let me go across to Ratnadeep in the northeast in Assam. Ratnadeep, at the moment, we are seeing 63%. That's the last data that I have in terms of the voter turnout in Assam. We were talking about how delimitation could have some sort of an impact on this particular elections, but is that something that you sense on the ground today?
Well, delimitation is definitely an issue for this phase, the third phase. However, the voter turnout would be much more than what we have the data for 3 p.m. because now, although the voting is officially closed, but here at Amin Gaon, where from we are reporting, you can see hundreds of people still in the queue. They have been given token. The gates have been closed, so these people who are in the queue for hours together would be allowed to cast their votes. In fact, this is part of the Barpeta constituency, and let me tell you how this has impacted. Now, Amin Gaon is part of the Jalukbari Lok Sabha Assembly constituency, from where Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma is the candidate. In fact, a short while back he did cast his vote, but this constituency, a part of it is part of Guwahati constituency, and another part is part of the Barpeta constituency because of the delimitation, and therefore the delimitation did really impact at ground zero the dynamics in terms of the demography. But watchers say that it is the BJP and its allies who are going to benefit out of it, and whether it really happens or not, the results will say. But we are here, we can see large turnout of women voters. There are a lot of women here who have come out at the last moment to cast their votes, clearly showing that there is interest among voters to come and cast their votes. Now, we did speak to Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. He clearly said that the turnout in Assam, rest of Northeast, Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand, these states would really impact the final results, and he says that this will actually go in favor of BJP. That's his claim, but it is an important claim that he is talking about. In the third phase in Assam, 4 seats have gone to polls today. Of them, 1 seat, Guwahati, is where BJP has its candidate. Guwahati is a seat where since 2009, the city and its suburban areas have been electing a woman as its representative. This time also the close fight is between 2 women, but in the other 3 seats you have BJP allies who are being tested by Congress and India Alliance candidates, and also the Dhubri seat where Muslims are over 85% voters, and there the fate of AIUDF chief Maulana Badruddin Ajmal is being decided. So therefore this phase is very important in terms of the final verdict from Northeast and Assam. This will be a wrap of elections here, but perhaps as the Chief Minister points out, Assam and Northeast will play a key part in the final results.
Right. Thanks, Ratnadeep, for summing up the entire scenario there in the Northeast. But stay with us. Let me also go across to Saurabh Gupta, who's been reporting from Malda. Saurabh, you are reporting from one of the sensitive constituencies in Bengal. But in your assessment, this election so far has largely been incident-free in terms of the kind of pre-poll violence or even poll violence that we see in Bengal usually. What is your assessment in terms of some of the constituencies which voted today?
Well, if we compare it to the last elections, which was the Panchayat elections, definitely a lot more peaceful, definitely incident-free, but there have been sporadic incidents even today. But again, like I said, comparatively, it's a much more peaceful election, and one hopes that I haven't spoken too soon because we still have about an hour to go to the end of polls today. But this is interesting because today, entire North Bengal has completed voting. And you also have now seats of Murshidabad, Jongipur also voting. And it's important because this was a region that the BJP swept in 2019. Now, of course, the Trinamool believes it has a foot in some of the few seats, and therefore they think that they could make a comeback in a few of the seats. Now, having said that, of course, there is also now the larger part of South Bengal and your Jungle Mahal and all of those places to vote. But at this point, really, Bengal, like you said, is a long drawn-out election. There's not a single phase where we don't vote, and it ends in the final phase with Kolkata and surrounding areas voting in the last phase. But obviously, today's phases or seats is interesting because today is the first phase where the contest is between different parties. For example, the Congress here is in the contest. In the seats in North Bengal, the Congress really wasn't in the contest, and these were BJP strongholds where the Trinamool was trying to fight back. Now you have a Trinamool versus Congress fight in some seats. But again, that is worrying also for both the Congress and the Trinamool, because in some cases, like Mamata Banerjee also has been saying, is that in the cutting of votes of each other, the BJP might actually sail through. So that is, of course, what the BJP is also banking on in several constituencies, because there are constituencies now that are primarily a Trinamool versus Congress fight, at least today's seats like Malda South, where I am.
Right. Saurabh, thank you so much for that assessment there from Bengal. But stay with us. I'm also joined by my colleagues Radhika and Jitendra. Radhika in Gandhinagar and Jitendra in Baramati. But before I come to you, Radhika, let me go across to Jitendra first, because Baramati is, of course, being seen as one of the key contests in Maharashtra. Supriya Sule versus Sunetra Pawar in what is being called the Pari War, this time around, the Lok Sabha edition of it, for that matter. Jitendra, if you can tell us, it has been an intense contest in Baramati. Speaking to the voters over there, which side do you think has the upper hand, in a sense?
Exactly. So the ground reality is that voters too are a bit confused, and since both the candidates are from the Pawar clan, they are confused to which side to vote. And if you'll talk to people around here across Baramati city and rural areas of the constituency, you will get varied replies from them, whom they support or whom they see to be their next member of parliament. But the thing is, here the contest is not just between Sunetra Pawar and Supriya Sule, not just between a daughter and daughter-in-law, but between Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar. After split in NCP, this is the first big election where the two parties are contesting, and it will be interesting to see that who is going to hold the sway, because whatever the results comes out of this election will be decisive for Sharad Pawar's political career, because in political corridors it is being said that there is some sort of sympathy being generated towards Sharad Pawar in the manner his party was split. And not only just party was split, but the election symbol, the official name and the election symbol also went to the other faction of the party, and that is one thing which people think will generate some kind of sympathy towards Sharad Pawar, and it is that sympathy factor which Supriya Sule is banking upon, other than her performance as the member of parliament in Lok Sabha. She has been elected from this particular constituency 3 times before, since 2009, and this is for the first time that she is facing a bitter challenge from somebody who is from her own family, Ajit Pawar's wife, Sunetra Pawar. As far as the voting is concerned, I am at this polling booth since morning. It is the same polling booth where Sharad Pawar voted this morning. And in the morning, there was great enthusiasm among voters. Even before the polling started, I had seen that voters had gathered. They had queued up to vote here. But during the afternoon, the voting slowed down and very few number of people were here to vote. But after 4 p.m., again, there has been surge in the number of voters, and possibly Maharashtra is witnessing a heat wave. Today's maximum temperature was 39 degrees Celsius, and this might be one reason that in the afternoon there was very slow voting and very few voters had turned up. But now, as the voting is coming to an end, I can see that numbers of voters are surging up.
Right. The last dash for voting there at Baramati in Maharashtra. Jitendra, thanks so much for joining us with that. But stay with us. Let me go across to my colleague Radhika. Radhika, what about you? What do you see around here? And if you can show us as well whether there's a dash for polling booths last minute in Gandhinagar as well. And also, talking about Gujarat, the voter turnout so far till 3 p.m. is around 47%. Now, Gujarat is, of course, a BJP bastion. But any worries for the BJP there in terms of the voter turnout not being so high so far?
Yes, the voter turnout is not as high as one would have predicted, 47% till 3 p.m. Let me show you, it is quite empty here. In fact, in the morning we saw people queuing up to vote, but not as much at this point. It's past 5 o'clock. We were expecting more people to turn out, especially in the last 1 hour. But it looks like the voter turnout may not be as much as was expected, predicted. Remember, Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah cast their vote this morning, along with making an appeal to the voters to come out in large numbers. As far as BJP is concerned, yes,
Gujarat is going to polls as far as the 25 seats are concerned. One seat already in the kitty of BJP. This is, of course, BJP bastion. Amit Shah, winning from this constituency in the past, in 2019, with a huge margin. He is expecting a bigger margin of win this time. He's talking about a 10 lakh margin and also 5 lakh margin as far as the other 25 seats are concerned. So BJP is sitting comfortably and also confident of a big win. But as far as Congress, the opposition, is concerned, they have, of course, allied with the Aam Aadmi Party. 24 seats being fought by Congress, 2 by the Aam Aadmi Party. So the India bloc factor may sort of weigh in, may benefit. Also, an anti-incumbency sentiment is something that the Congress is hoping for, because in the last two elections, 2014, 2019, it had been a clean sweep as far as BJP is concerned in the state of Gujarat. Something similar is what the BJP expecting. Congress trying to want to make a dent. Let me go across to a voter here. You just, came out of the polling booth. You've cast your vote, but not too many people here. So tell me about the issues that you voted for.
एक्चुअली फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल रिगार्डिंग इन्फ्लेमेशन, ये यहाँ पे जो महंगाई जो है प्राइस सबके बहुत ज़्यादा है. जैसे आम जनता जो है, अगर मान लो ग्रॉसरी की आइटम ही ले लो आप, ग्रॉसरी में दिन ब दिन जो बढ़ोतरी होती जा रही है प्राइजेस में, जैसे दाल है, आटा है, जो भी है, उसके प्राइस डेली बेस पे इतने बढ़े जा रहे हैं. एक वो है. दूसरा पॉइंट जो है वो पॉल्यूशन का बहुत ही हाई है इधर, तो पॉल्यूशन पे भी वर्क करने की ज़रूरत है. जो भी सरकार है वो पॉल्यूशन पे भी वर्क करे. इसकी वजह से अभी गर्मी इतनी बढ़ी जा रही है. जैसे अहमदाबाद में जैसे सेकंड नंबर पे आ रहा है, जैसे दिल्ली है पॉल्यूटेड सिटी, ऐसे अहमदाबाद भी ऐसे सेकंड नंबर पे आ रहा है. तो उस पर भी वर्क करने की ज़रूरत है. थर्ड वन जो है एजुकेशन फील्ड में, तो अभी एजुकेशन में भी बहुत, अगर जो अमित शाह आते हैं तो विल ट्राई कि भी एजुकेशन पे कुछ न कुछ वर्क करें.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Okay,
Thanks a
so interesting, reactions, comments coming in as far as the issues are concerned. She's speaking
Right.
about education, she's speaking about pollution and inflation. Of course, these are some of the issues that the voters are talking about, but
Right.
not so much. As far as the turnout is concerned, not as much as we expected. But yes, Gujarat going, 25 seats going to polls as far as Gujarat is concerned.